Morning, guys. Yeah, you've got to excuse me if I'm a wee bit sniffly, nose is running and all that. Right, okay, back on the subject of wheels. This has been a bit more, or a bit longer than what I expected it to be. So I'm just going to diverge a wee bit, but then I'm going to get back to them. So bear with me, please. Right, I'm just going to turn the camera around. Hold on. Right, okay, when I got the boat, like I say, these are very basic. I know it needs another wash, right? These are very basic. Mind you, saying that, I'm going to diverse again. These sponsors have been up since I sealed them, when I had that wheel print, pinprick in them, and they haven't dropped a 1 psi. So that stuff really has worked well. It sealed all of the sponsons, although I don't think all of them needed it, but just that extra peace of mind. Anyway, back to it. Right, anchor. Now, eventually when I'm out and about, I want to anchor up when I'm fishing. And these are the only tie-off points that you actually get with or on the boat. Now, if I wanted to anchor to that, you can imagine that being out there and the anchor being joined to it. If you look that way, if I hit a wave, because they're on top there, to me, that would pull the boat down. Now, with it being a cat and having an open front even, I don't want that. So what I've done is I've put 2 of these on, one on that side. I'm not going to walk around and show you. One on that side and a D-ring the same place on the other side. So if you can imagine the same configuration with the rope between the two and an anchor tied to it, that way, because it's underneath, if a wave hits the front of the boat, then it'll be able to lift it rather than pull it down. That's my thinking behind it. Let me know what you think. It'll be interesting to hear your points of view. Right, back to the wheels. Right, what a pain in the arse that became. Excuse the tools all over the place. So, in a second, I took these big ugly bastards off. I'll pop that there. And if you remember, these channels that they fit in sat there like that. And you saw, if you have a look at the previous video, you'll see how they were a total hindrance. They were a pain in the arse to put up and down. They were a hindrance to the engine and to the side of the sponsons there, whichever way you put them. So I changed my mind on the wheels and I decided to go with these, which I've yet to fit. So in preparation to fitting them, when I took this bracket off, I've only got myself today, the missus or the daughter out with me to help film. When I took that off, as you can see, it's left 6 holes in there. So not wanting to leave 6 holes in there, what I did was it left 6 holes. In addition, when I took it off, these are the D-rings I had on the back that were placed there. Now, if you look at the back of that, because it was siliconed in, you can see what it took off with it. And the runners for the wheels, they did exactly the same. So it left the transom in a bit of a mess. So what I did is I filled all the holes in. I used a filler which is suitable for boats, sanded it all down, primed it, and I've repainted it, so now you can see it's white rather than the blue that was on there. And I filled all the holes in, sanded it down, all this came off, and repainted it. So now you see as it is. I know it's not a professional job, I'm not a professional, but it's definitely watertight and it's got enough paint on there to seal it for a long time. So now it's a case of putting it back together. Now I filled, like I say, I filled all the holes in, but the 2 at the bottom ran into this, where the bottom of the boat is actually sealed to the transom. So it left 2 holes in there. Now one of them is in the ideal location to fit the new wheels, which is there, but the other one was underneath there. So rather than just fill that, which I have done, right, I wanted to make it that extra bit watertight because it's very close to the water line i.e. there. I wanted to make it that extra bit watertight, so what I've done is I've patched it as well on both sides and on the inside as well. Now you can see on the inside that's where the holes were, so like I say, that's been filled with a resin based filler, and that's ready for painting as well when I get round to it. So that's the state of play so far with the wheels. I just thought I'd show you what I'd done with the transom and how I dealt with the two holes that were close to the bottom there. Okay, so keep watching for the next video, and that should see the wheels fixed to the boat. If I've got a little helper with me, then I might try and get the daughter to film it for me. But when I'm by myself, I'm afraid you're stuck with this and the camera going all over. Okay guys, so I'll leave you to it from a not so very bright Scotland today. Okay, catch you all later. Love you all. Bye.